Hello, artists. Welcome to Drawing with Dominique. Today's subject matter is Dave the Dragon. We're going to draw a really fun dragon today, and it's going to be awesome. So if you have your drawing guide, you can take it out right now, or you can download it from the email I sent out. And a few things to go over. What is Drawing with Dominique? Drawing with Dominique is an art lesson that I conduct every Wednesday afternoon at 2:30 p.m. In this case, it's a recording. We had Wi-Fi issues, so sending it out a little bit late, but thank you so much for your patience, and I'm excited that you're joining us for Dave the Dragon. So, the art contest is starting anew this month. So different prizes I have. I have this colored pencil pack, and this was sponsored by Layor, which is our local art store here in Bend, in downtown Bend. So you can choose this if you win the prize, or you can choose a fun and colorful mask. So those are the options for our prizes this month. And I'm looking for artwork that is creative. You follow directions, but you also freestyled your artwork and made it your own. So it's not just copycatting me, it's you added your own spin on the artwork. That's what I'm looking for. I'm also looking for evidence that you took time on your artwork and you colored everything fully and nicely, and that you shaded, you created volume on your dragon and in your artwork. So you did that using shading and added highlights. So those are the qualifications for the art contest winner this month. Alrighty, we are going to say our creative affirmation. So please repeat after me. Repeat after me. I am grateful to be alive. Today is a new day. Anything is possible. All right, thanks guys. The next thing I want to share is the print of the month. And the print of the month is this beautiful watercolor print that I created a few years ago, and I titled it My Life Garden. And there's some little bits of gold leaf here, and you can see a lot of different colors blending into each other, and you can actually print this out and draw on it. And my intention for this art piece was you can choose what you want to water in your life. So you can write directly into the center of the flowers, and you can write on there some things in your life, like maybe you want to work on your schoolwork this year and do a really good job in school. So you can write that in one of the daisies or the flowers. Maybe you want to work on your friendships and have more fun with your friends. You can write that on one of your flowers. And the idea is it's a visual reminder so that you can look and see, okay, and it can remind you, what do you want to work on in life? What do you want to really see bloom and flourish in your life? So that is the print of the month, and you can get it on my website, My Life Garden. Okay. We're going to get some inspiration. We're going to get very inspired right now with my Pinterest board, and that is right here. So we're going to take a look at some dragons. These are dragon eyes. So if you look, they kind of look a little bit like cat eyes in that they have this disc shape, almost like an M&M, a sharp M&M that's flipped on its side. And this is another artist's creation of a dragon. You can see that dragon eye there with some shine. It's got a highlight on it. And they remind me of marbles a little bit. This one has some veins and blood vessels kind of popping in there. All right. This was a cool dragon because look how shiny and shimmery those scales look. And the artist did that by painting some of the scales in there white. So if you want to make your dragon look shiny, if you want to make it look scaly and kind of like hard scales like a reptile, you could just add highlights in some areas and with a white colored pencil or even white paint, and you can really make that pop and shine. For our warm up, we are going to learn how to draw scales. So let's take a look at that. You can see some different ways to draw scales here. Just some different ones there. And these are some different visualizations. So visualization is the style of something, the style that something's created in. Different visualizations of dragons. So you can see this dragon kind of snakes around into a figure 8 with lots of huge scales. And you can see someone is about to shoot it with a bow and arrow from a horseback. So think about what else you want to add to your artwork. Here's a dragon. This is concept art, so for like a video game. A dragon with a hooded figure. Looks like Little Red Riding Hood to me. And look at this shape that these dragons are making. They're making a heart. So very appropriate for Valentine's Day coming up. And oh, I just thought these were so cool. Look at these different kinds of dragons. Think about, the visualization and what style you want to create your dragon in. There's so many different possibilities. And you don't have to stick to just the dragon we draw today. You can create your own dragons in the style that you like. This is more of like a cute style fantasy art. And look at those pretty highlights coming off the side, really nice. Don't forget your dragon eggs, maybe a little baby dragon, and wings and a tail. Those are all things that dragons have. This dragon here has some antlers. And look at the scale that this artist created by making a tiny human down here and a big dragon. Imagine this was your whole paper cut out. If you draw your dragon large and draw a small human, that's going to make your dragon look as big as this mountain. So that principle of design is called scale. So if you want to create scale in your artwork to make your dragon look huge, then you can include some tiny little things down here, maybe an animal or a person. If you make them really tiny, that are going to make that dragon look huge and ginormous by contrast. I thought this was interesting. Look at all the different dragon heads you could make, or horns, or crowns. This one even has earrings here. And this is a tea dragon. We got the Tea Dragon Society book from my brother. And these are some just really cute looking tea dragons. There's some bright or pastel colors rather. And here's some more tea dragons. And let's look at just a few more. This is like a cat dragon. So you can combine an animal with a dragon if you want to, if you have a favorite animal. There was one more I wanted to show you of the cat dragon. Where is it? Oh, here it is. So if you like animals more than you like dragons, you can totally combine an animal, like in this case, it's a cat, with a dragon. All right, I hope you are inspired artists, and we're going to get into our warm-up drawing. So I'm just gonna get my iPad up and on. And then we're going to warm up by drawing some scales. today. And let's see, let me just make sure I am on Wi-Fi. All right, I'm going to share my iPad and we are going to get into our warm-up. All right. Okie dokie. All right, so for our warm-up today, we're drawing scales. So to start out, I'm going to show you a few ways to do that. Oh, let's see here, cancel. Oh, I was on text. Okay. All right. So to start out, we're going to do like a hashtag pattern. And that's going to look like, let's see here. I think we're freezing up. Hold on just a second, please. All right, so we're going to draw that hashtag pattern. And why don't you start with just 4 lines going in one direction. And then we're going to draw some crisscross lines, crisscross, just like that. So you can see the pattern that is made inside of each one is a diamond. So inside of each diamond, we are going to draw a scale. And you're just going to be rounding out the tops of each of those diamonds. So we're going to be rounding out those tops, each of the diamonds, and that's going to create our scales. Rounding out each one. And then you would just kind of finesse those scales. Another way to draw them is like this. You would draw a oval, an oval, second oval, and a third oval. And then between those ovals, you would draw an oval coming down like that. So that was a little big. And another oval between them. And another oval on the side, maybe one on the other side. And then you do the same thing coming down. So each of these leaves a space in between them. And you can do the same thing down below. So you leave a space right here. And another one. And another one. All right. So those are some different ways to draw scales. And next up, we're going to begin our dragon drawing. So I'm going to erase that. Let me know if you have any questions about drawing scales. Another simple way that I've seen it done before, it's really easy, is just like this, a bunch of W's attached to each other. And below that, starting from each one, kind of the bottom of each W, you just draw more W's. So that's probably the easiest way to draw scales. Then you just kind of keep going like that. So those are 3 ways to draw scales. You can choose your adventure, choose whichever one you want to do. Okay, so let's think about our composition. Where do you want your dragon to live on your page? Do you want to draw a baby dragon, a small one that maybe might be small? Or do you want to draw a huge dragon and then draw like a tiny little person? it's up to you. You get to decide what you want that to look like. I'm going to draw a medium-sized dragon. And I'm going to start the body by drawing a funny looking bean. Let me try that one more time. A funny looking bean, like a kidney bean. So that's going to be my body. You can draw this dragon body to look however you want. If you want it to be a skinny, long dragon, you can change that up. If you want it to be a hefty dragon, you can give it a large body. This is where you get to freestyle. So for my medium dragon, I'm going to draw a medium-sized bean. And then for the head, I'm also going to draw a second bean, just like that. And I will connect them like so. So connecting one bean to the other bean. So that's our first step. We just drew the head, neck, and the body. And next up, we're going to refine the head shape, insert the shapes for the 3 or 4 legs, and then add the tail and the outline of the wing. So next up, I'm going to start with the largest shape here, and that will be the wing. Since in drawing, we work from large to small. So we always draw the largest shapes first, then we refine into smaller details. So the wing is going to come up and over. And I'll draw that one more time. I'm gonna hide my title. Give me more room here. So I'm drawing up and over. So that's my wing shape. My next largest area is my tail. And I'm going to have my tail come down and around the dragon. But you can draw it however you want it, wherever you want it to go. If you want a little tiny tail, you can do so, or you can make it thick and fat, totally up to you. Next up, we have leg shapes, and these are going to be the thighs, so like the tops of the legs here. And if I'm going too fast, you can always pause this video since it's a recording, and you can go at your own pace. Alrighty, so my first leg is going to be, it's actually the arm, and it's going to come down and up, kind of like cat paws like this. So my shape is gonna, come down like this. So that weird bean shape comes straight down. I'm actually gonna change my pen to a pencil. Okay. And then the 2 legs, the one in front. There we go. The one in front is going to kind of look like a gourd. And then, so that's the front one. The back one is going to be hanging out the side there. And those are going to turn into the legs. And then lastly in this step, we're going to refine the head. So this is going to be a side profile of a dragon. So out of this funky bean right about here, I'm going to draw the snout, and it's going to be open-mouthed, and I'm going to erase this outside line. Let me make that eraser smaller. All right, so now I have the basic shape of that dragon. And since this is 3D, just going to keep that front area. I added a little piece there to make it more 3D looking. Okay, next up, I'm going to further refine the body, the wings, and the head. I'm going to draw the eyes and ears, and also add the outline of the dragon's 4th leg, as well as all the outlines for its feet. And then I'm going to clarify the lines by erasing any construction lines that I don't need. So first up is since the largest area is the wings, I'm going to work on that. So I'm going to give it some bat wings. I'm just going to go around and over and leave it like that. I'm going to erase this arrow so I don't confuse you. Next up, I'm going to work on the arms. So out of these arms and legs, I'm going to work on adding the shins, and those just look like little circles, or flat circles rather, like ellipses, just like that. So those are the shins. And then out from there, oh, I did that in reverse. This should be a little bit longer. I'm just going to erase that line. Okay, got those two lines. And then time for the feet. Out in front like that. And the second foot goes behind there. And next up, I've got the arm. So out of the bottom of this kidney bean, I'm going to add the forearm, and that looks like that. And the claw is going to go inside of this circular area. So I've got that. Next up, I'm going to add the eyes. This is where you can freestyle a little bit. The eyes are going to go up on the head, up here. You can make them big, you can make them little, you can make them sad looking, or you can make them scary looking. Totally up to you. This is where you can freestyle. And I'm going to zoom in here. I'm just going to keep some circular eyes on it for right now. And I'm going to add in those shapes. And then I'm going to give it some ears, squiggly ears. All right. Now it's time to erase any construction lines that I don't need anymore. So I'm going to start up here on the wing and erase. I'm going to start on the right near the tail where that connects to the body. And then up on the neck, I'm going to erase that line there. Inside of the arms, I'm going to erase the elbow areas and the connecting points. So any lines that you aren't using anymore to help you, since we've already created our shapes, we created our dragon using basic shapes, which is our rule of art. You can erase any lines that you don't need. And on the head, where those ears connect, can erase down by the feet. So you can look at your own drawing and take off any extra lines that you don't need. And then after you do that, if you have some missing areas, you can go back in and just refine those lines a little bit. So I'm working on the legs, refining the snout and knees. All right, guys, I just had to pause it. I now have a little baby with me, so we're gonna see how this goes with Camille helping us out to draw a dragon. Okay, so we are defining those lines. I have a little bit on the feet to add. And our next step is to define and add details. So on the feet, we're going to start with the feet. We're going to add some sharp claws, some sharp teeth, and maybe some horns on our dragon. Okay, so the largest area would probably be the feet. but you get to determine that for your art. So I'm going to draw up on the leg. Whoops. Oh, dragon sounds from Camille. So I'm going to draw a sharp claw coming out of the back of the foot. And then on the front there, I'm going to draw some toes. Look at these little dragon feet. Can you guys see those little dragon feet? Rawr. Okay, so I drew some toes and some sharp claws coming out. And those just look like little lines that come inwards, and then some claws on the outside. We're going to do the same thing with the hands, but we're going to add some long fingers. And it might just look like a squiggle. I'm working right here. Squiggle, squiggle, and a claw on the end. And if yours was round like mine, I'm just going to sharpen that up and make it look more like a hand. Just like that. And on the bottom there, I'm going to make it a little bit of a sharper line. And I'm going to add in some more realistic looking fingernails. And those just look like a loop with a claw on the end. Okay, got my hand all set for my dragon. And now I'm going to add in some teeth to my dragon. This is the fun part. But first I want to add a mouth. So that's going to look like a line going straight up. A tongue, maybe. Now I can start adding rows of sharp, pointy teeth. Just like that. And on the other side, the teeth are going to be coming down from the top. Since these are in the foreground, some sharp canine teeth. Front. And then on the bottom, I'm going to put those in behind the top teeth. All right, and maybe some hairs on his chinny chin chin. Some spiky hairs. And just erase those little lines there. Cool. All right. Now we're going to add some character to our dragon's face. So let's put in some bumps for that forehead. And maybe some scales around the eyelid. I'm going to zoom in here so you can see. Some scales coming up around the eyelid. And maybe some shading back here to make those eyebrows look rounded. Whoop. Just gonna lower my light here. There we go. And then next up, we're gonna draw some ridges on the nose and the nostrils. Those just like those look like little quote bubbles. And then a layer on the other side. You okay? And you can shade those in just like so. And then you can add horns to your dragon if you want to. Some horns. And you can freestyle this, so feel free to make your dragon however you want it to look. I'm going to add some little tentacles coming from the head and then just erase where they connect to the body. All right, okay, set the baby down. All right, so now we're gonna start adding some details. So in the wings, I'm gonna add, oops, some lines here to make it look like there's a bone structure to the wings. And then a second wing, I'm going to pop right back there to make it look like it has two. And then you can even put in a wing back here to make it look like the other one is hiding behind the front wing. Okay, so now it's time to add our scales. So you can do this in any of the three ways that I showed you in our warm-up. But if you want to make your dragon look more realistic and to make each limb look rounded, we're going to draw the direction of the scales to wrap around the dragon's body. So what I mean by that is, like, I'll show you. So in this arm, we want to show people that this is a round arm. So we're going to draw curved scales. So you can add lines like that. Be sure to draw them really lightly in case you need to erase. I see that. Thank you, honey. And then coming off the side, you can just draw U's like this. And they're going to follow the curve of the line we just put in. So coming down from there, let's see, up. And each one is going to hit right in the middle of the U above it, like that. And like this, U. Oh, thank you. And U. And then what you can do is take your eraser and just erase in between those U's our first lines that we put, our construction lines. So it's a little bit of work. There's some erasing to do to get it right. But that helps us, that creates a guide for us to wrap the scales around the dragon's arms, which helps make our drawing look a little bit more realistic. Okay, so if you don't want to use the lines, let me erase this top one. If you don't want to use the lines and you feel like you are very confident in your drawing skills, you can just wrap those U's around the dragon's arm. Whoop. There we go, like this. Just like that. And then when you get to a point, you can start doing some scales on the back. I'm going to do some larger scales, but you can make them tiny. Coming up like that, around. So if you want to space your scales out, you can leave a gap right here in between each one. I'm going to jump into a different kind of scale. Bump, bump, bump. So I'm leaving a space in between each one. Bump, 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 bump. Just like that. Okay, so you can work on filling that in on your own time. And then I'm going to talk about shading. So let's make our dragons look a little bit realistic. And you can do that by shading over your scales. And you can do that with a color. Let's say your dragon is, I don't know, pink or purple. I'm going to make mine blue. I'm going to make mine a blue dragon, light blue dragon. And this is freestyle mode, so you can color it whatever color you want. But the sides, make this a little more see-through. The sides are going to be darker, and we're going to leave room in the top for a highlight. So I'm going dark to light, dark to light. You can see I'm just shading right over my scales. Dark to light, dark to light. I think my daughter is playing with the door stopper. And I'm going dark to light. And I'm using the side of my pencil to get a little bit more purchase on my pencil. Okay, and then those light scales in the center, you can either take white or a lighter color. I'm going to take the light blue, and I'm going to put my highlights on those scales, and that's going to make it look more shiny. I want a shiny, sparkly looking dragon, just like that. So you can color your dragon however you want. Don't forget to put in a composition. So if you want to make your dragon look spiky, you can add some spikes on the back of it and maybe continue on the tail, kind of coming around. If you want to add in a person, I'm going to add in tiny little princess who is out to slay the dragon. She's on her trusty steed, of course, her little horse. Or maybe it's a Pegasus. Oh yeah, it's definitely flying Pegasus horse. And she has her sword. It's a fairy tale, not real life, of course. And there she is, flying to slay the dragon. And I'm going to draw some background stuff like a cloud, but this is up to you. You can add your own background. So they're both in the sky. We'll draw the moon out here. It's a nighttime battle, and a tinier cloud in the distance. Draw a cloud next to the moon. Kind of looks like an octopus or an alien. I'll make it an alien in the cloud. So this is up to you. You can freestyle your drawing however you want. And be sure to snap a picture of it and email that to me, or have your parent or guardian do that. So I want to see what you've come up with. Alrighty, folks, that concludes our lesson. I want to see what you made, so please do send me a picture of what you drew. And we are going to conclude with our creative affirmation. So please repeat after me. I am grateful I am alive. Today is a new day. Anything is possible. All right, thanks you all so much. If you have friends that you would like to join our class, please do tell them about it and share this as much as possible, and send me your drawing suggestions. Anything you want to draw or learn to draw, please let me know. All right, thank you and have a wonderful day.